Hello! It's good to see you back. My dear friends, I hope that you've enjoyed the last 2 weeks and you've had the opportunity to really get inside your own head. If this is your first time, a bit of a waste of time you being here, because you need to see the first video, which is linked in the description below. Do please go and see that first, because you will not be able to move on to stage 2 today unless you've done that first. And it would be completely pointless and you'd be wasting your time. Yeah. Please do go and see video 1, and then in 2 weeks' time you'll be able to come through and see this video when you're ready, when your soul is ready. Now, if you're here because you've done the last video and you're looking forward to the next stage, then I'm as excited as you are, because it's all about forgiveness again, but this time it's about forgiving others that have hurt you or done something to you in the past. We're not talking about you going and knocking on their door and saying, you know, I'm going to forgive you for what you did, because it's quite possible they won't give a monkey's whether you're going to forgive them or not. They're not going to ask your forgiveness. They've moved on in their lives. It's not important to them. But you might be holding that grudge, that anger of something that happened to you maybe 10, 15 years ago. Maybe something happened to you a few weeks ago where somebody really upset you and hurt you, and you feel like you needed an apology from them. But let's be honest, you don't need an apology from them. What you need to do is forgive them for you, not for them. You're forgiving them for you, because all the time you're carrying that pain and hurt and anger, you can't raise your vibrations. It's just impossible. You need to forgive. So I'll explain. I had a lady who I was helping with her awakening, her soul awakening, and she was doing really well until we got to the point where she had to forgive. And we were talking, and I said to her, you know, she went through and she forgave loads of people for stuff, and it all went very well. And then she said, sadly, I'm never going to be able to forgive my mother. So I said, well, then you're not going to be able to progress. That's a blockage that you can't have. We can't deal with a blockage where you can't forgive your mother. And she said, well, no, I'll never be able to forgive my mother because of all the terrible things she did to me. So we talked about it and we discussed it. And yeah, I mean, her mother gave her a terrible childhood. Yeah, I can understand why she felt the way she did. However, after talking about it for some time and trying to get her to see different ways of looking at it, she started to understand that she didn't know about her mother's childhood. She never asked. Maybe her mother was badly treated when she was a child. So her answer to that was, well, just because she was badly treated didn't mean it was a reason to treat me badly. So I asked her, I said, how have you treated your children? And she said, well, I wasn't going to treat them the same way my mother treated me. So I said, so you learnt a lesson from that. You learnt the lesson not to be like your mother. So you don't know where your mother was coming from. And we talked about it. And eventually she started to understand she could forgive her mother because she didn't know where her mother's circumstances were. She didn't understand where her mother was coming from. Her mother probably wasn't as strong as her to be able to change things. So she forgave her. And once she forgave her, the blockages were gone and we moved on. And it's got to be the same for you. So now I've just slightly changed the mantra that you're going to say. It's slightly different. I'll give it to you later. It's also linked in the description below, but you'll be able to read it. It's only slightly different, but it's different enough to start to get the memories to come back for you, so that the memories will start to be of not only things that happened in the past where you've done bad things and you're not going to do them again, about things that have happened to you that other people have hurt you, and you've got to forgive them, find ways of forgiving them. So, do you understand? So, how did you get on with the memories that are coming back to you? I mean, I had one day I was driving around a really complicated roundabout, and one of these memories came back, and I had to pull over up the road and start to think about it and assimilate it and start to think about all the things that happened. Remember, you're remembering things that you did that weren't bad, and the point is you're remembering you can forgive yourself, because when those circumstances arise, you're not going to do it again. Yesterday I was driving the car and a woman pulled out in front of me and absolutely made me brake really hard, and I was very cross. And then she said sorry, and I made a rude sign. And then I looked at my wife and I said, well, Why was I so disingenuous to that woman? She did apologise, and my wife looked at me and she said, I have no idea. So do you see, it wasn't just me driving down the road being angry after that, it was me saying to myself, even now after all this time, saying to myself, well, that was a silly thing, why did I do that? I didn't need to do that. And start to accept that I still make mistakes. This is one of my favourite examples. When you're on a diet and it's going really well and you've lost quite a bit of weight, and then one night it all just gets too much and you go to the fridge and you pig out on sausage rolls and ice cream and all the things that you shouldn't eat, mince pies, all the things that you shouldn't eat. And then the next morning you wake up and you think, oh my goodness, why did I do that? That's so dreadful. Oh well, I might as well give up with the diet, there's no point in carrying on. Well, that's the wrong attitude, isn't it? Because it's one mistake, one night. So I do not want to hear you saying, oh well, you know, I was really angry with that person and I shouldn't have been, I might as well give up. No, the point is that you recognise you were really angry with that person and you shouldn't have been. That's the point. The whole point, you are on the right track and you're staying on the right track. So now, as I say, go through the mantra, exactly the same instructions as before. Say the mantra 9 times and then 3 times for the follow-up, and do it every day, and the memories will start to come and you'll start to feel more at home in yourself, more confident in yourself, and you'll start to catch yourself out when you're saying things that you shouldn't say. Remember, when you do that, when you realised what you've done or what you've said, it was a knee-jerk reaction and it wasn't coming from your soul, it wasn't coming from your heart, and your soul will start to come through. It will really start to happen. You've got another 2 weeks. So the other memories were going to come through, you know, the ones where you've got to work with things that you shouldn't have done. Now you know that they were wrong and you won't do them again. And the new memories will start to come through, the things where you've got to forgive people for things they've done for you. That's really, I know, that's really not easy. But you can do it, because you've got to step back, try and put yourself in their shoes, remember? We don't know what their story is. We only see things from our point of view. And while we're only seeing things from our point of view, then we can't move forward. We have to try and see things from their point of view. Or, more importantly, understand that we're not seeing things from their point of view, so we don't know why they're behaving the way they're behaving. And there's something really important I want to say here. Because I've seen so many videos where people are telling you what you should and shouldn't do. Remember, I'm giving you advice. You can follow my advice if you want to. It's up to you. But I'm not saying to you, you can't complete your soul's journey without me. Far from it. Everything you need to complete this journey is inside of you. Everything you need to complete this journey is in you. You don't need me telling you what to do and what not to do. I'm happy to guide you. Imagine that we're in a forest and I'm leading you down a path. There's nothing to stop you going off another way or other way. And I won't turn around and tell you you've got to follow me. So please be aware of the ones out there that are saying you can only find the way with their help. You can only find the way with their advice. That's not true. It's inside you. Everything you need is inside you. Inside you. It's there. That little light, that little Christmas tree light that we talked about, that little LED, is glowing away. And now that you've done 2 weeks, it's glowing a little bit brighter. And give it another 2 weeks when I do the next video, and it'll be a little bit brighter still. It's important that we take this one step at a time. You'll still be having memories of things that you got wrong in the past, where you have to forgive yourself. And there's a few real sticklers to come up, I bet you. And then you start to get memories now of things where you've got to forgive someone for things they've done to you. And you've got to find a way of forgiving them. And it doesn't matter how angry you are or how hurt you are, there are ways to do it. I'm quite lucky. I don't seem to hold a grudge. Somebody does something bad to me, then that's it. You know, they're gone out my life. If they come back into my life, they get a second chance. If they do it again, that really is it. They're out of my life. But I don't hold a grudge. I don't think to myself, oh, terrible things, I want terrible things to happen to them and all the rest of it. I've moved on. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to forgive them and move on. These things happen, and it is what it is. I will now say the mantra that's in the link below, and you can say it with me if you read the description. Spirit, 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 I feel your love so near. Spirit, 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 your presence so divine and clear. Spirit, 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 you are the essence of my soul. Spirit, 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 guide me with your sacred sign and make me whole. By the power of 3 by 3, thrice by thrice, help me to be worthy of your love and align with your higher self. Okay, say that just as you did with the other one, and it'll all start to happen. And congratulations on getting this far. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me, because my calling is to try and help as many people on their soul awakening as I can. And somebody commented on the last video that it was plain, it was simple, it was truthful, and it was honest. And that's what this is all about. It's about me helping you or guiding you. But you can make up your own choice. You have free will. It's really important that you understand your free will. And I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time, where we're going to move on to stage 3, which is a little bit deeper, but just as easy as the last 2 have been. Keep up the good work. I'm looking forward to meeting you then. And a message for your spirit, from my spirit. You're on the right track. Keep up the good work. And don't forget, keep your eyes open for synchronicities. Keep your eyes open for numbers. Angel numbers, they call them. If you get 3 numbers in a sequence, say you see 555 or 444, they're all signals from the universe that you're on the right track, and it's your spirit helping you and guiding you. Because sometimes it gets hard work. I know. Sometimes you're at a party, or you're with a group of people, or you're in a meeting at work, and suddenly one of these memories come back, and you don't want to lose it. You want to keep it because you want to go and deal with it. But you can't, because you're in a meeting, and I know that can be frustrating sometimes, but just try and hold on to them as best you can. If you can't get an opportunity to do it and you forget about it, I'm sure Spirit will help you to find it again. That's what Spirit's there for. Your Spirit wants you to connect with them. Remember that. Your Spirit wants you to connect. Until next time, thank you for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. And in 2 weeks' time, bye-bye.